Hi friends, welcome back to the channel and thank you very much for clicking on this video. So today I'm here to share with you 4 very easy to set up minimalist bullet journal spreads for high school students. Now this is perfect for those who are just beginning high school, and this is helpful to those who are at their last year and they are gearing up for post-secondary education. Either way, whatever category you fall into, I hope you find something helpful in this video. As always, if you like what you see, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button as well as subscribe to the channel. I would very much appreciate that. And if you want to check out more bullet journal related content, I have a ton of playlists linked for you down in the description box below. So check those out and let's start. Spread number 1 is a semester log. A semester log is basically a future log. It's a reference guide for you to see what's up ahead in the coming semester or term or school year. I'm using 2 pages for this spread, and I will split each page vertically in half. So we'll end up having 2 months on each page, totaling to 4 months for a semester. I'm using my stamps and my stamp pad to create the monthly headers. Next, I'm going to write out a little calendar for each month. This is totally optional, of course. I think it's a good idea though to include a little calendar so you can get some clarity as to what your month will look like. And this is the semester log. Now I will fill in the spread with a variety of example classes and events so you get an idea of what it would look like if you filled it in yourself. As you can see, I'm color coordinating everything I'm writing down to promote some clarity and structure in this spread. Also, I'm doing the highlighting portion before I write in pen because I notice that smudging happens if I write first and then highlight after. Lastly, to wrap up this spread, I'm including a key at the bottom detailing what color means what. And this is the semester log spread. Spread number 2 is a university or college prep spread. This layout will take up to 4 pages or up to however many pages you need, depending on how much you write. The intention behind the spread is for you to have a template or a layout where you can gather all the necessary information you'll need when it comes to researching the various post-secondary institutions that you intend on applying for. For this example, I'm going to be using UBC, which stands for University of British Columbia, which is the university that I went to and subsequently after 2 years dropped out of, but that's a story for another time. The first section of the spread is the general admission requirements. This is where you write down information that the specific post-secondary institution requires from you in order to apply. The next section is degrees interested. This is where you get to jot down the possible degrees you'd like to go for. So for most universities, you get a choice of maybe 1 to 2 degrees in order to apply, because not always will you be able to get in with your first choice degree. So often you have to have a backup one. Then as I was making the spread, I miscalculated and made an oopsie. Thankfully, whiteout is there to help me out so we can continue without frustration. The next section is degree-specific course requirements. This is an important one. Depending on the degree that you're applying for, the high school courses you're currently taking will affect your eligibility to get straight into university. Let's say if you're gonna major in engineering, your grade 10, 11, 12 courses are gonna look totally different than if you were taking prereqs for Bachelor of Arts. I'd also recommend researching into the university departments to see what kind of high school related electives or courses they would like to see from you in your portfolio when you apply. So let's say I want to major in film studies or film production. I think having high school courses in creative writing, in photography, in drama, in directing and screenwriting, that's actually a course that I had in my high school, and anything else that's relevant to that would be so helpful. After that, you'll have a section for programs and courses interested. This is where you can write out what programs you'd consider joining at university and what courses you find fascinating and intriguing to take. This can be a really fun part of the spread because you can do tons of research as to what a school has to offer. Next up, this section is for high school courses that are relevant to the degree you'd be interested in getting. And lastly, to finish up these 2 pages, we have a section for important dates and deadlines. On to the next half of the spread. On this first page, the top section is for cost and fees, estimated for your first year. Up next is a scholarships, awards, and loans section. This is perfect for you to gather information on any prospective financial resources that can help you with your schooling. Lastly, this part is optional. It depends on whether your school requires this, but this page is all about a personal profile or personal statement. So for most colleges and universities, you don't just get accepted right off the bat from just providing your grades and having all the courses that they require you to apply with. Especially when your university has a competitive admission rate, and UBC has had that. They look into your personal portfolio or personal profile or personal statement to get a better gist of who you are, what you stand for, what you do in and outside of school to determine whether or not you'd be a good fit for the university. Here I have a few sections of popular things they may ask about you. One section is activities you've been involved in. Next section is what is important to you, what issues you're invested in, what activities you may do that reflect what you hold close to heart. Lastly, there is a section for references. This is people who can vouch for you on your academic and non-academic experiences. And that is the University College Prep spread. Spread number 3 is going to be an assigned reading list spread. This is where you write out all the materials you'll need to read for the semester ahead. This spread can be suitable for you if you don't want to go looking back and forth between various subjects' syllabi, and you just want everything in chronological order in one place. So we'll create a table. You certainly don't have to make it the way I did. You can change things up and personalize it so it suits your tastes. We'll have 4 columns. One is for the date, then class or subject, the material you'll be reading, and what type of material it is. So like poetry or short fiction or nonfiction, that kind of thing. And that is the spread. And as usual, I'm gonna fill it in with some example reading materials so you'll have an understanding of how it would look like if you used this spread. And that is the assigned reading list spread. Lastly, spread number 4 is a homework assignment spread. This template can be used if you want clarity and structure in completing an assignment, essay, or project. We'll have sections for the subject you're working on, the due date or deadline, a description of what your assignment is all about, the tools and resources you'll need to complete it, and then the rest of the page is dedicated to a checklist. This is where you jot down the steps and tasks you'll need to complete in order to finish the entire project. and that is the homework assignment spread. And here it is, all filled in. This example is actually roughly similar to what I did in high school in AP English. I wrote a character analysis essay on Holden Caulfield from The Catcher in the Rye, and my character analysis was based off of No Faith by Jean-Paul Sartre. I had a ton of fun writing that essay because my teacher let us choose the book we wanted to write on, and I had already read The Catcher in the Rye when I was 13, and so it was kind of nostalgic and kind of almost even bittersweet and melancholic for me to be finishing my high school with a book that I began in high school, and I got to do a very in-depth psychological literary analysis. Here is a flip through of every spread. I hope from this video you have gained some inspiration for your bullet journal setup. Please let me know down in the comments below if you end up using any of these spreads. I would love to hear your thoughts. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you very much for your viewership and your love. I really, really do sincerely appreciate it. And yeah, take care, stay safe and healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.